I gotta go live. All right, people. All right, welcome to the Bullpen Session. We do this every single week. Our goal is to cover really a lot of the activity that goes on throughout the week prior. Cover anything in sales, phone script, in-home dialing, confidence, product, and hiring, so that anyone who's tuning in is getting value, growing, and helping their team grow. So I got my man Frank Dock with me today. Frank's growing an agency at Shoreline, so he's also out there in the field working, doing his deal. So we'll talk a little bit about that. You want to read the numbers? You want to start by reading the numbers?
Yep. Start with the top 20 agents month to date. Number 20, we have Jesse P. with 27,154.
Nice.
Stephanie C.
So this is what? This is 4 weeks in?
4 weeks.
Yeah, it's 4 weeks in October. October was a 5-week month. So all right, that's great.
That's Stephanie C. 27,410. Gabriel E. 28,074. Jose G. 28,733.
Real quick on Gabriel. Gabriel was in Chicago, and Gabriel had, I don't know, 15 agents with him in Chicago. So you're talking about a guy who's leading from the front, but also now building an organization. He had a lot of people that were in his region, but also flew in to Chicago. Massive team from like different parts of the country, warm market people. So kudos to Gabriel. Keep killing it.
Michael L. 29,294.
Another guy killing it.
Pamela T. 29,742.
Nice.
Carlos R. 31,232.
Good job, Carlos.
Wayne C. 31,326.
Yes, sir.
Vin T. 31,734. Remy A. 34,128.
Nice. How much? 34?
34.
Nice.
And then we have
Savage.
Jeffrey B. 34,232. Kyrie J. 40,079.
Where are we at right now, numbers wise, count wise? In the top 10?
Yeah. Kyrie was number 9.
Okay, cool.
Number 8, Nicholas C. 40,253. Number 7 is, sorry if I mispronounced your name, Samid G.
Got it.
42,293. Number 6 is Orlando P. $45,063. Number 5 is Rob R. 54,154. Number 4 is Danielle B. 58,272.
Yes.
Number 3, Steve G. 88,335.
I think went from 50 what?
58,272 to 88,335. And he had a baby this month. Or his wife did.
He's only down by a few from the big ones.
Wow. Number 2, Rainer S. 91,000.
Woo!
824. All life business.
That's crazy.
And number 1, JP, Jonathan Porcina. 102,656 with 1 week left.
Woo! Let's give a round of applause. That's significant premium. This is personal production. Now, to me, if you don't mind, if you're issuing this kind of premium, you should have the biggest agencies. Straight up. Because this premium, I mean, what are you going to do with 88,000? Like, what do you do with 88,000? You know what I'm saying? And Steve's using his money on his head. So I'm just like, well, what do you do with 88? It gets to a point like, I don't know, John. I mean, like, in a month, you know, it gets to a point where, you know, you've literally taken care of the idea that you're not going to be financially okay. Because I think we all deal with like, am I going to be financially okay? Right? I think that's fair because this is commissions is a treadmill business. It's a treadmill business. You're scared all the time because you just never know. But it gets to a point where You start doing 30, 40 grand every single month, and it's like, all right, well, number one, you know you can do that.
True.
Right? That's when you start buying houses. You're like, first you'd be like, I'm scared to buy a house. I don't want a mortgage. No one wants a mortgage. But then when you go 30, 40, 50, 30, 40, 30, 40, 50, it's just like, how do I not have the money to pay a note? I'm robbing from myself now.
Mhm.
So from a confidence standpoint, you get to a point where it's just like, all right. But I think a lot of these men and women are starting to build from day one. Like it's like Gabriel, like he's not been with us that long. You're starting to see Mike Lower. Mike Lower's at 29,000 through 4 weeks, but Mike Lower's got a bunch of bosses behind him. Jeff B, he's building a nice little size agency in Florida, and he had 15 people at a meeting I was at in Tampa 4 weeks ago. So it's like, you're Remy. Remy had 12 people with him in Chicago as well, 34 J. A lot of the guys leading from the front are now like, all right, let me pour in. If brand new leads are $11, there's no way for agents not to get started anymore. Whether we're helping them or they're helping themselves. There's literally no way to not get started. Because I can go, hey, I'll put in 50%, or John, if you put in 50%. Now you're buying leads for $550. It's impossible for me not to get my money back. And Arjan gets to make 3, 4, 5, 6 grand and get some confidence. Makes sense? That's why we're big proponents of the instant internet leads. Why? Because it helps everybody. And if you're hiring new agents, you understand how much you need the help. You understand? Because they're looking for juice. We just hired this group in Delaware. It's like, he's like, dude, there's no leads. And, I just don't know if I'm able to help my manager was looking to help me. It's like, there's no leads. No, they're not looking to help you. Imagine doing this with no leads, bro.
It's scary.
It's beyond scary. And guess what, when you start doing it with leads, Frank, what happens? Free. Becomes predictable, right?
Yeah.
How predictable? Like for some of these men and women, these numbers are insanely predictable. Does that make sense, Carl? It's like these numbers are predictable. They're really not confused. Porcina's not confused. He can write 100 grand a month. Now, does that make sense?
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you some guys like Kyrie. Kyrie's number 9, 40,000. Kyrie's not confused. Just hit VP. Well, again, I think he's coming right on VP. Got his new logo, Humble Beginnings. Vindy is brand new. Vindy Thomas. In Kyrie's group, brand new. She's been with us 2 months. It's her second month over 30 grand. No. First month she hit 20 grand, which was September. Yeah, this is her first month over 30 grand. But her first month she hit 20 grand. I mean, it's like anybody can do this, Carl. Like this is not for someone special or anybody like, so these numbers, when we look at these numbers, our real goal is for people to understand, why not me? Like all these names, all the names he's about to read. What he's about to read is full of hundreds of people. Like, there's no reason you can't have a piece in the pie. Make sense? Yeah, buddy.
All right, top issue paid agencies through week 4. We have FFL Dynasty, Shamira T, 40,577. FFL Shoreline, Francis D, 41,321.
Nice.
FFL Great Lakes, David P, 49,058. FFL The Way, Gabriel Singh, 53,242. FFL Momentum, Jose G, 79,683.
So by the way, so as you're reading some of these numbers at the lower tail, what a lot of people don't see, Erjan, is how much momentum these groups have. Like Jose's at 79 grand, and they just put like 150 people in class and hired like 50 agents. So they're just, Gabriel, I just told you, like there's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Frank, you got a lot going on down there. It's just like there's a lot bubbling up. And I think that what most people need to understand about building an agency, Frank, is you don't get to see it all right away.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of work until you actually start seeing it. Then it's a lot more work till the explosion. And a lot of work could be 90 days of just straight, you going all the way in. Using this like the phone company's paying you. Like, can you hear me now? Like you're on an advertising, like you're doing an ad for Verizon. This could be like, you'd be like, man, I just don't see it yet. But dude, you've been pounding the phones. It's coming. And that's what a lot's going on right now. So I'm seeing a lot.
I play a freeze game when I'm on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask myself what I'm doing and is it the best decision for my business? And if I'm not talking to someone, it's not the best decision.
100%.
I either got to be scheduling appointments, talking to agents that are in the field, or recruiting.
And I used to do the same thing. I didn't call it a freeze game, but I knew if I wasn't on the phone talking to people, I was in trouble. I didn't know how much trouble I'd be in. Because again, you don't see it all. But all I knew was if I just kept talking to new people and I just kept talking to people that were with me and I just kept checking in on people, somehow I knew that if they were in a rut and I could just help them see it a little bit differently, John, that maybe I impacted them for that day and it might impact them for 6 months. I don't know, but I just knew that this was something I needed to be on. You know what I'm saying? And if I was doing that, eventually it would just go pop, pop. And it did, dude. I can vividly remember it. And I was just like, holy, how the freak did this happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd all these people come from? You know? So you're going to start seeing that. We're seeing that right now on our leaderboard, but keep going.
We have Alex L., FFL Third Coast, 83,630. FFL Legacy, Danielle B., 95,153. FFL Insured Trust, Stephanie C., 96,777.
So she's also got a couple people coming out killing it now, which is good. Good job, Steph.
FFL Humble Beginnings, Kyrie J., 99,143.
Okay.
FFL Pay It Forward, Michael L., 99,249.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. So if you can feel like he did $100,000. I mean, Mike's been with us recruiting for 2 months. That's the power of one market. It's very hard to go from 0 to $100,000 without one market. And Mike's been around. Mike's been around us since we started the company. I want to say 2015, 16. And he just faded to black for years. He just didn't, and now he just came back with vigor. And now he's got a bunch of his buddies, like sales guys that are good, that got licensed, and they're just going to town on the leaderboard and on those leads. So anybody can do that.
We have FFL Avenues, Jesse P., 127,099.
Good job, Jesse.
FFL 320, Caleb A., 141,336.
No doubt. Good job.
FFL Kings, Jonathan P., 177,356.
No doubt.
FFL Wisdom, Strength, and Beauty, Carlos R., 178,648.
First time over VP official.
Congratulations.
Dang it.
FFL Service Before Self, Cindy S., 181,226.
That's strong. So Mike Lowe is part of Cindy's team. So she's a 80,000 outside of what he's doing, rising the leaderboard, and she's going to be over 200,000 this month. That's awesome.
FFL Hidden Gems, Wayne C., 193,671. FFL Health and Wealth, Stephen G., 308,739.
Good job. It'll be his best month after 5 weeks.
FFL Apex, Rob R., 619,293.
No doubt. It'll be their best month.
FFL Central, Brian M., 689,070.
No doubt. It'll be his best month.
FFL Universe, Ivan V., 1,072,677.
Good job. It'll be his best month. So a lot of people are having their best months ever, and it's not a test that's a testament to serving people. I really, really, really want to continue this message of there's no way to plug a bunch of people in, not care about them and grow. There's no way to care about a small amount of people, not plug a bunch of people in and grow. It's both. Plug a bunch of people in, care about them a lot. Serve them, right? The reason these groups are growing is because they're starting to understand, wow, I need to be there for my people.
True.
It's one thing to hire a team and go, I want to get rich. That doesn't work.
No.
It just doesn't work. I want to get rich. When are you going to go to work, man? So I can make money. What? That's just so screwed, dude. I mean, but the guys understand it. They hire the agents and aren't worried about what the agents do because they're selling and they're making money for themselves. Anybody can pay all their bills just selling and build their agency just selling. And then the guys who want to help their team, now you hire people and you can chip in a little bit to help them because everyone needs a little bit of help. So, and it's on different ways. Some guys would never accept any type of lead out just because it's not who they are, but they might need help in other ways, right? So So kudos to everybody on the sheet. Frank, if you can kind of run down these numbers.
First time writers, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Real quick, just want to highlight a couple first-time writers that we have. We have Carolina B., Elvia Sanchez. We got Gabriel Woods. First week in the field, he also has 3 people in class.
Nice.
Good job, Gabriel.
Nice.
And Ibalu Yano.
There you go, brother. There you go. Use that tongue. Use that tongue like they taught you in 8th grade. Gotta roll it, bro. You gotta roll it. No doubt. No doubt. She's down in Miami with Andy Garcia, so congrats to her.
All right. From our last week numbers, we have Carlos Otter. He had 9 appointments, 6 sits, 4 closes, 5 apps for a total of $5,231 in annual premium. All right, Carlos, come up.
Yeah, absolutely. Come around.
Lay it on.
How you guys doing? How you guys doing?
So Carlos, just if you can walk us through, very effective week. Ratios are real tight.
Right.
If you can tell us anything about some of the business that you were able to write, and anything that, any obstacles that you came over, or any ways that you helped influence the family to make a better decision for them.
Correct. Okay, good. Number not that good because it's only 9 appointments. Couldn't get anybody on the phone last week for some reason. Know what was going on, but got to sit with 6 people, 4 families, and then did an extra application with one of the families. That's why I have more active closes, and got to write a $5,000 premium for that week. Like I always say, just getting comfortable with that. Getting comfortable with the family, explaining the benefits of having a policy and whatever type of policy it is. Just getting, just getting comfortable explaining to them the benefits of it. That's it.
Good. Any parting shots you'd like to leave with everybody?
Like Mark was saying, anybody can do it, but anybody that's willing to put the work in it is going to be able to do it. So that's it. As long as you are committed, you commit to your commitment, you'll be good.
How about managing
You on? Cool.
the personal production side, getting you and your crew up to VP this month, and you have a newborn. So
Yes.
how are you keeping all the balls in the air?
One thing that I learned is that in this type of industry, you don't achieve anything alone. The only thing that you achieve alone is personal production. But if you really want to build an agency, you want to succeed, and you want to, like Mark said, blow this thing up, you need a team. So I reached VP because of my team and because I'm always involved with them. I'm always answering the phone for them. If I cannot answer the phone at a particular time, I make sure I call them, within 20 minutes, or, you don't know what that agent is calling you for. He may be on a home, and not helping a family. So don't wait a day or hours to get back to your agents. Make sure that you get back to them as soon as you can. Make sure that you are involved with your agents, when it comes to training, inviting them to the office. Reach out to them from time to time, just to chit chat, just to see, how they're doing, how their family is doing, etc. And just be involved, and that's how you grow. You make it together. It's a team work. So I'm a VP because of my team.
Good. Thank you.
Hold on real quick. What are some of the things that you're doing to help your team grow?
One of the thing is promoting the office, promoting to come to the office, to come to the dial sections, because like I've always said, this is the place where you get it all. You don't have the distractions You hear from, from the best in the business. Mark Mead is here, John Marcella, Frank is here. So there's a lot of people with knowledge that are here that are able to help you. Not like in the house, you know what I mean? If you're in the house dialing, who are you going to ask? The dog, the neighbor? You have nobody to ask, So the office is if you really want to grow, if you really want to commit, I mean, it's a proven, it's a proven method, man. Office, higher leads equals growth. That's it.
No doubt. All right, give him a run.
Thank you. Then we had James Vines with 15 appointments, 7 sits, 4 closes, 5 applications for $5,799. And I had 14 appointments with 6 sits, 4 closes, 5 applications for $563. Up until Tuesday, I had a pretty rough day in the field in terms of no-shows. And then Wednesday morning by 10 o'clock, I think all my appointments for the day had rescheduled on me or attempted to cancel. So I hopped back on the phone, and by 11:30 had 2 appointments set for the same day. Went and saw both, closed both, and it ended up being half my week. But I was cursing a lot probably around 10 o'clock. But I try to always remind myself staying inside my head is the most dangerous place I could probably live or work in. Mm-hmm. So trying to fix my self-talk and make sure that I'm remaining emotionally competent, which I define as just being able to make good decisions in the face of strong or conflicting emotions. So constantly, especially in a sales role, we're getting rejected, told no, beat down, and then we have all these other things coming in, outside influences coming in that we can let sometimes play a role in our decision-making process. So I try to categorize everything into 3 buckets. Bucket 1 is something that I have complete control over. Bucket 2 is something I can influence. Bucket 3 is something I have no control or no influence over. Bucket 1 is my attitude and my activity. If I focus on just bucket 1, I'm going to be much more productive. I'm going to help more people. I'm going to just be a happier individual in general. So try to focus on that. And luckily, good thing about this business, we can turn around a day in a matter of an hour or so. So I was able to salvage that a little bit. Then we had Alvin.
Hold on, I want to focus on some of the things you said.
Yeah.
Because I think we've all been through that, right? We're in the field and like by 10 o'clock, it's a disaster or feels like a disaster. Truth is you still have the whole day ahead of you.
Yeah.
But psychologically, you're like, you might have missed it. Maybe you said the wrong word. Maybe you wish you would have had that 30 seconds back. True. After you left the house, or you wish maybe maybe you woke up and, you slipped going down the stairs and you're like, woe is me, it's going to be a bad day. And then you get to your first appointment and an adult child comes in and says, why are you here? And you're like, man, could it go any worse today? You know what I'm saying? And you just like, you tend to box yourself and beat yourself up, knowing it's only the small segment of the day or the week, and there's all this time. But we could kill ourselves in that little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
And then you're saying you focus on having, a positive mental attitude, because 70% of our thoughts every day are negative. 70% of the subconscious mind is negative feedback every day, all day. We all do it. The ones that tend to elevate are the ones that punch back the best. They have the best jabs and hooks. They're still running 70%. Sean Mike's still running 70%. He's just punching it the hardest. You follow? So he's beating it back to somewhere. I don't know what the percentage would be in someone that productive, but he is punching it back, and we have to punch it back because it's so easy to go from, I took the dog out, they crapped on my shoe, or peed on my shoe, to my car's not starting. It's so fast. It's so fast, to no one will buy from me today. And it's like, all right, well, slow down. Like, we can beat this, right?
Yeah.
And that's something you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's how you get your week back. So I'll let you continue.
Then we had Alvin, 17 appointments, 9 sits, 4 closes, 4 apps for 11,242. Great case size. Then we have John with 26 appointments, 19 sits, 11 closes for 13 apps, total of 19,658. John, can you come on up?
John?
Let's go, John.
What's up?
Tell us about your week, John.
Good week.
Yeah?
You think?
26 appointments, bro.
It's a good week.
New mortgage payment.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember too much. I don't remember too much about my appointments, but I do remember one house that I went into. It was a young girl. She was about 28 years old. Sat down at the table, kids running around, cats and puppies running around. And, I asked her, why did you fill this out? She's like, well, in case something happens to me, I want to make sure my kids are taken care of. Long story short, going through the underwriting, I'm like, all right, so how's your health? She's like, oh, good. I'm like, all right, on any meds? She's like, yeah, I'm on Suboxone. And I kind of put my head down and I was just like, you're killing me, Christina, And I told her that there's no insurance for her under the sun because she's on Suboxone. She started crying. So long story short, I flipped the switch. Instead of me packing up and leaving, I'm like, well, listen, you live with your fiance. You've been together for 10 years. Where is he right now? She's like, well, she goes on her phone. She tracks him. She's like, oh, he's a few blocks away. I'm like, let's get him in here. So I winded up writing him a policy for $300,000 with Americo and cashback option. And she was just as excited to protect him. And I said, listen, if we could stay off Suboxone for at least 3 years, I could help you out. 5 years would be better, but 3 years, I could definitely get something for you. So in the interim, I was able to protect somebody else in the household that probably I wouldn't have even thought of because he wasn't around. He wasn't home.
Yeah, very nice.
A lot of final expense too this week. It's all I could think of.
A lot of final expense.
A lot of final expense this week.
Talk about final expense. What are you seeing out there? You had a very high show ratio.
Yeah, I mean,
When people think of final expense, sometimes they think of a low show ratio.
yeah, because some of these leads were from the internet life leads. So when I had questioned them, you don't know what they're looking for when the leads come in, whether they're more, you don't know what they're looking for, but a majority were final expense leads. So instead of writing them a $10,000, $15,000 policy, I saw that they were extremely healthy. And there was probably a good 4 or 5 blue indexed ULs in there for $25,000, $50,000, as opposed to the traditional $10,000, $15,000 life policy.
Gotcha. Good.
Mark?
Any other nuggets? All right, so part of what we want to do in here, because these guys are really good and really smart, is so you guys are really good. You don't write 19,000, you don't do this by accident. We need to do a better job telling these stories. I don't care who's streaming, because I'm teaching them too. I'm going to teach everybody. Okay. Because people come in for an hour on a Monday here and to this live stream because of the nuggets y'all have. Because the nuggets, it's because of people in this room. They're streaming in. The people that drive here are driving in for the nuggets of the people who are going to lead this. There's a lot of information in this kind of week. There's a lot of negative stuff that happened. There's a lot of great stuff that happened. And we need to think when we're doing this, how can we tell both sides educationally? Because what some people need is they just need a little boost. And you want to do a better job of asking, because you know what to ask. I'd be like saying, I don't know what to ask. You know what to ask because you're doing this every day too. And you know what to teach because you're doing this so You see how I'm up here and I'm like, and if I can sit right there, I'm like, all right, so talk to us about this. What do you say? Now he's saying stuff. As he's saying stuff, I got questions because I have questions because they don't know it. I might know it, but how does it benefit the fact that most people don't know it? That's why they come. You know what I'm saying? And the way you build a big team is education and support. So most people here are trying to build a big team. We need to educate and support. So if you know this was your week and you struggle with stuff on the dome, come here with a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm good either way, but let's just understand we want to educate. So I'm gonna rewind just for a half a second. You ask the questions that you know the people need. You give the answers the people need. I'm gonna sit down and shut up and let's build it. Let's build a big business.
So yeah, I think it all starts from the very, very beginning. And I think one of the problems, not one of the problems, but I say this every week to you guys, it all starts here at the number of phone calls that we're making. And I think these numbers always need to be tightened. Like I always feel if 26 people tell me to come to their house, 26 people should be home. Like
Right.
I'm starting to not get really pissed off that people are not home because
That's good.
it's part of the business.
That's really good.
But, you know, we have to tighten these numbers because if you tighten these numbers, then everything else grows on top of it. And I've said this many times, it all starts from the initial phone call. I'll take you for an example. I know you were having a frustrating morning on the phone. You can't let that snowball into the second part of the day because people sense that. You know, it's not how we say it. It's not what we say, it's how we say. So the initial phone call is, you know, we have to understand that when people's phones ring, they sort of cringe. Like, remember back in the day, like we were happy to answer a phone call. Now, when my phone rings in my house, I cringe because I know it's somebody that it's either an electronic voice, somebody trying to sell me a warranty on my car, somebody trying to, you know, sell me Medicare, somebody trying to sell me Viagra, whatever the case may be, it's an automated system. It's not anybody legit. It's not my mother, my sister, my friends. It's somebody that has no business calling me. And it's the same thing when we call them. Their guards are all the way up, right? And it's our job to bring those guards down. And I think we only have like 4 seconds to make a good impression. Like, hey, Frank, this is John Mazzella from the Mortgage Benefit Center. How are you, sir? Oh, a live voice. I'm doing very well. How are you? And I think that if we could just knock down that wall on the initial phone call and do what we're supposed to do, confirm information, book the appointment, and build a little bit of a rapport, then I think these numbers could definitely tighten up for the better, as opposed to, hey, you know, I got some mortgage insurance you required about, or I got some final expense insurance you filled out online. I'll be at your house tomorrow. Got to go. Bye. They're going to forget you. But like I always mention, you want people to know that you're coming and have the Entenmann's cake out and the coffee ready for you. You know, I think I booked like a few 7, 8 o'clock appointments last weekend. And those were good sales.
For you to get the 26 appointments, what was your lead flow like for the week? Like how many leads do you typically coming in? What kind of mix do you have?
I still have leads from the prior weeks that, you know, I just keep calling. You know, the leads keep coming. I just keep calling. If I go through my newer leads, just call the ones from last week. I just, you know, I can't put a number as far as like for every 100 leads, you're going to get 25 calls, right? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah, or the mix between you're working instant internet leads.
I'm
expense.
doing final expense. I'm doing mortgage, and I'm doing. I mean, 2 weeks ago it was a good amount of internet life leads.
Okay, good.
But I still prefer mortgage over anything.
Gotcha. All right, good. And you had obviously, well, it was a great week, not a perfect one. So you had sat down with 19 people and you were able to help 11 families.
Mhm.
The 8 that you weren't, what did you run into?
One guy had AIDS. He was young. He was in his 40s with like a $320,000 mortgage, and he lived in Red Bank. I was all kind of psyched when I got in there because I'm thinking Red Bank, nice area.
Do you have your health license? You have your health license?
I don't.
Oh, God.
We go through this every
I'm
week.
cringing. I'm like.
We go through this all week. But I actually gave him, I said, listen, we could do a couple of things here. I could write you a couple of $25,000 policies, or we could do an accidental policy where you get all your money back. And I actually gave him that option, and just, I didn't bother putting any pressure on that. But yes, that's what you were getting at.
Okay.
Another guy was in his early 80s, couldn't do much for him either. And then, listen, I do get the no's, let me think about it. I know whenever somebody does tell me, let me think about it, my thing is, what are we thinking about? Is it number? Is it, whatever the fact is? And then what I'll do is I'll make another appointment at the end of the week. All right, think about which way you want to go, and then, I'll come back on this day to make a second appointment.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, when I run into the same thing, a lot of times I say I've been around the block enough, and I've been doing this for enough years to know that when someone tells me that, it's usually because of one or two issues. One, I made it too expensive for you. Was that the issue? Was it budgetary? And you see them squirming a little bit there. I said the only other thing it could be is you don't like me or trust me, and I don't think I've given you a reason for that. So why don't we talk about doing something a little bit smaller? And one of the 5 that I wrote last week was simply budgetary. She wanted the Cadillac of policies, and we ended up going with the Kia starter plan. So, but it's all right. She can build on it.
The Kia starter plan.
No, good. Great week, John.
Good deal. Great work, buddy.
Then we have Stephen P. with 28 appointments.
Nice.
11 sits, 5 closes, with
nice,
14 applications.
Good job, son.
What?
He's cleaning the house.
Wow.
For $11,356 in premium.
Insane.
Hey, before you go, jump on that. Look how crazy that week is. Like, if you took a pen that looks like the stock market in like a really like crazy 3-month span, can you run through the psychology of that real quick?
So this is probably not his best week or even his normal week to go from 28 sets to only sitting with 11 people. So he definitely just had to keep pushing when he's in the field. Mm-hmm. He's constantly showing up and no one's there. And then when he is there, this is probably
he's getting smoked.
less than 50%. This isn't his normal either.
Right.
But he did walk into 1 or 2 houses where there were multiple family members,
right,
and multiple needs.
Right.
So this could have been a husband, a wife, and the grandparents, and maybe a child's policy.
Cats, dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also be he went in for mortgage protection, got them the coverage that they needed on a cash back plan, and then threw on a small final expense policy on there for him as well. So he served the people.
He rebounded very well.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff we got to pick up on. It's like
he failed more than he succeeded.
and he still won.
Yeah.
That's great.
And he made more than most physicians did for the week. So
that's it, brother.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Then we have Andy G, 24 appointments, 12 sits, 9 closes for 9 applications with $5,855 in premium.
I'm going to teach for a second here.
Yeah.
Andy calls me this week on maybe Friday. And he goes, he's looking at the leaderboard. He's like, how are they getting those numbers? Like the premium, like how are they doing this? And he goes, I work a lot. He's like, but I'm writing $40 policies, $50 policies, $60 policies. and I got a chance to talk. What do you think my initial answer was? What do you think my initial question was? 'Cause I didn't give an answer right away.
Are you doing bottom up selling?
There you go. I said, how are you presenting the premium? Because I find a lot of times, like, this is good work, 24 appointments, 12 sits. This is not terrible. This is phenomenal. 75% close, 100% app count. But what I find a lot of time with people that haven't worked here a long time is they go, okay, Mary. And he said, I go gold, silver, bronze. Okay, whatever you want to call it. I like it. There's nothing wrong with this. So if I go option 1, option 2, option 3, or most value, most picked, least vet, whatever. I go, all right, well, what are you doing? He goes, 5,000, 7,500, 10,000. I said, all right, well, we're done. Conversation done. Because they're going to pick one, brother. They're going to pick one.
And usually it's the middle.
For $38.99 a month. And it's okay because he's worried about chargebacks and taking care of the client, and it's fine. So what do I tell them to do?
Show them what they qualify for.
They qualify for.
And let them back you down.
What do you qualify for? So now we go 30,000, 25,000, 20,000. Okay? And he's listening, but he's dumbfounded by the concept of top-down selling. Now, guess what? I can't tell you a situation that I've been in. When you go to the car dealership, do they show you the base model? Or do they show you the fully loaded model?
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded. Which model do you like better, the base or the fully loaded?
Fully loaded.
How about you, Arjan? How about you, Bill? How about you?
We went to go look at an Expedition, and they put Vanessa in the Platinum Edition.
Platinum Edition.
And she was like, this is great.
Great.
I was like, it's
Yeah.
$80,000.
Yeah, correct. And then what happens from the Platinum Edition? When you go 80,000, a little high, you start looking at the packages. And you say, what if we move this package out? What if we move this package out? Now you're 2 notches down, you're at a $65,000 vehicle because you took out the technology package and you took out all the stuff. And you're like, I think we can do that. What's the payment on that? This is normal stuff. So we go, that's crazy. No, this is how people shop. And this is how people sell. When we were getting the house, when our kids were smaller, our concern was them falling down the stairs and stuff. So we call for gates. We call the safety company for gates. They come to the house. They show us all the dangerous spots in the house and all the protection mechanisms that they can put in place. Right? Why? Value over price. And they go, you know, the bathrooms are a dangerous place. I'm like, fuck, this is unbelievable stuff. I don't believe in it. I'm like, yeah, they can slip and they can hurt themselves on the tub. Like, oh my gosh. I had to come to my senses. I'm like, shaking myself, like, knock it. And I go, but of course, I bought more than I asked for.
Is he licensed with us yet?
And they do the electric things on the panels, and then they do the closets. They can lock the closets and they can lock the bathroom so that it's all kind. And they'll just keep top down selling. But they know if they started with just the gates at $250, they got me for $600. And they started at $1,000, best value. But if they start at $250, I'm trying to negotiate from $250. You can't do better than that.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So you got to understand, like, he goes, and then he hits me up after we go, he goes, I got it. He goes, you sure that I should do this with the incomes that they have, the fixed incomes? I'm like, nobody knows their budget better than a senior. Nobody. So they're never going to put themselves in a position. My final expense business stays on the books. I'm sorry. Unless the adult kid comes and submarines the deal. Bottom line.
True.
Seniors know what they're doing. They just do.
It's true.
They're not stupid. And the fact of the matter is you start learning to love the senior market when you realize how smart they really are. right, John? I mean, like, you start loving the senior market when you stop playing them for old dummies, because they're really smart and they love direct. They love you to be direct, so they know their budget. But if this is $221, and then this is $181, and this is $139, now I showed them value and I let them pick. He goes, well, what happens if they say this is too much? I say, no big deal, Mary. My job is to show you what you are eligible for. Let me show you a couple different options. And then in true fashion, trying to learn, he says, then what do you show them? First off, it's a feel, right? So then what I show them, it's a feel. But generally, I'm looking for a knockout, so I'm only giving them 2 more options. And I'm only going $2,500 down both times. Now I got $111, and I have $98. They're gonna pick one, dude. Most seniors can afford $100 a month. They're gonna pick one. And sometimes they go, no, I think I'll just do the bronze option. They talk themselves back in the stuff. And I'm so worried about their budget, quote unquote, so the policy stays on the books. I gave them 5 options and didn't upsell even one of them. I never upsold it. Then when they pick it, I go, now, Mary, you're 100% sure every single month for $111 to make sure that your granddaughter gets the $17,000 if you pass away. You're good there, right? Not gonna take any food off the table? You sure? We can do the $15,000. So I'm downselling. So you have to understand the psychology of why we go top down, and then I never sell back up. I never go, you should try that. You should shoot for the 30. They will cancel. Yes, sir.
See, a lot of people think with their bank account and not other people's bank account. And I know I did that for a long time, where I was afraid to show people $500 premiums. I had good success yesterday doing that, showing somebody a premium that was $477,
Right.
as opposed to $200, and he's like, all right, that's what I want.
Correct. You sold 10 grand in a sitting. You know what I mean? And this is how you start the day at 8 o'clock. Leave the house with $400 a month, and the day's looking freaking great. There's nothing better starting a day like that. You know, you have some confidence to the day. But this is called top-down selling, and this is the kind of stuff that we need to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because this is nothing complicated about this. But understanding, Erjan, there is a psychology to it. And there's a psychology to why most organizations sell the way they sell. They all do it. And we all are buyers of it. So for you to think that you're the first person to ever do this to them is laughable. Everyone does this. And this is the buying patterns they actually understand. So psychologically, you're right in line with the way they think. You make sense? So we're not doing anything otherworldly or extraordinary when we do this. And I expect for Andy's premium, because this should have been easily a $12,000 a week. He's hustling hard to get that premium. And once he gets comfortable with $200 a month, $180 a month, $274 a month, once he gets comfortable there, this changes. You know, it changes. And he has the ability to do that. So, any questions? Let me just see if we got any here. Okay, so what I want to do now, Frank, is if you can, I want you to just kind of talk about some things that you're doing from a recruiting / onboarding with agents to get them started. And it might be good for you to mention, without by name, you know, the couple that we talked to and kind of their dilemma and how we help them understand how good of a deal we have, how good it is. You don't have to get into comps, but just kind of.
So from the contracting spot coming on, a couple things in the contracting phase. I try to make sure that everyone gets a link for Prosperity immediately now, and AMM, because they've been really quick turnarounds. So if we have some people that are looking to write pretty quickly and sometimes they just have some people in their warm market that are chomping at the bit to get some coverage, they're able to help serve those people immediately. So Prosperity, I think I want to say it's probably close to less than a 48-hour turnaround right now for writing numbers.
Nice.
Then while we're waiting for writing numbers to come in, try to get everyone plugged in for training. I'm also trying to get people to get to a local offices as well, so they can listen to some dials. They can see the bullpen sessions, and that gives them an opportunity to see some agents. And sometimes new people coming on want to hear something or ask the same question they may have asked me, but ask another agent just to validate the things that I'm telling them as well, which is fine. I think we all do that. And then putting together a lead plan as well. So making sure that we know what their budgets are, what their schedule is going to be, whether it's full-time or part-time. And when agents are coming on, depending on what their budget is, if they need some help, I'm trying to do lead assists. So if they're putting in 500, I'll try to put in 500 as well, and try to give them, put the numbers as grossly in their favor as possible, especially early on, just to give them as many bats. And I feel like agents are a lot more appreciative of that, and they're willing to dump more money into it. Just got to make sure that they buy the leads first before you buy them.
Oh, yeah.
But then getting them in here and trying to get them on the phones with you. So when if they have the leads, have them in here making the phone calls, because the only way that I can help them is if I can see what they're doing. So if they're at home hiding in their master bedroom making phone calls, and they get through every lead one time and they don't get the results that they want, they may not be as likely to get back on the phone, start triple dialing all those leads again, as if they were sitting right next to me and they see me doing it. So just giving them as much guidance, assistance, and direction as possible, making sure that they're prepped for the in-home, so they have the financial inventory worksheets, the final expense cheat sheets, the agency dojo for the mortgage protection, and they know that they call me in every single home that they're in. So I prep them before they go out there, so they know who their 1, 2, 3 carriers are going to be. But when they're in there, they call me or text me and they say, these are the details about the client. Where should I go with it? And then I just make sure that I'm always available, regardless of where I am or what I'm doing. So, but we have a lot of people coming on. I think this thing's going to pop pretty quickly, and we have a couple people growing agencies already, and they've only been with us a couple months. So by Thanksgiving, in the next 2 weeks, I think our numbers are going to more than double. By the end of the year, we're going to be goals to be at 75 submitted per week.
75 per week.
Yeah. Per week.
Okay. What does that look like? Because let's spend a little time here. What does that look like? I mean, we talked about it. You see it, right? Because there was a point where you didn't see it, and then there was a point where you did. What does that look like? How do you envision that happening? 75,000 a week is 300,000 a month. Submit. It's close to 225, 250 issue paid, which is a very good place to be. But talk to us a little about that.
We have a couple agents on the team that have experience. They know what they're doing, and they're hungry, and they have financially they are comfortable investing in their business. So there's no reason that those 2 agents aren't at 10,000 per week plus. And then we have 2 agencies coming on, and one of them by Thanksgiving will probably have 15 agents with writing numbers. So some of them are part-time, some of them are really new, but there's still no reason by Thanksgiving that group's not doing at least 10,000 per week,
Right.
if not more.
I'm thinking more like 30 grand. I mean, like
It should.
15 days. So think about that, right? So, because the 15 days aren't going to write business. Now I'm trying to help. I'm going to teach a little bit while we're here.
Yeah.
And when I look at a group with 15 people, I already know 15 people aren't going to write business. I'm okay. But 15 people is probably 15 more market, correct?
Yeah.
Something like that. So if a group coming on with 15 people, that's 15 more market. That means they're going to listen to the words a lot easier. So now I got 15. If 7 of them start writing per week, 4,000 a week each, that's 28 grand a week. and the 8 are watching, going, maybe, maybe not. They start getting paid 2 more jump in, like it is real. You understand? But we have to start speaking to the whole entire 15 day one, like it is real. And then we have to run hard with the 7 that said, I believe you. Run hard. What does that mean? That like, I'm gonna in a second, but that means like taking this group and making sure they all have leads and all understand the importance of dials. Right? And it's not just the 7 though, it's all these other agents you got. So the way to get to 75K, again, this is loving and helping people. That's what this is. Because they almost can't help themselves. Not because they're hopeless. A lot of them don't want to believe this can happen. That's where we come in, breathe life, talk to them, help them understand how simple this actually is. It's actually, Bob, if you just pick up this stack of leads and start dialing, bro, get around these people that do it well, you'll be fine. And the more people we get to understand this, right? Make sense? And so that would be 30% of your goal, right? Just like that. Keep going.
Another agency with some people in contracting should be able to get that one close to 10,000. They're all part-time, not going to have the same number of agents coming on as quickly. And then we have a couple really hungry individuals coming on that are very coachable. They're new to the business. They just want to run through a brick wall and they want to start making money for the first time in their lives.
Where are they at?
Different parts of DC, couple in Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Okay. So, but then the key to what you're saying is that you're always hiring. Right?
Yes.
Right? Like, I think because
Every day,
right?
Every day.
Because the same people that are saying they're hungry might get full. The thing that I learned is I'm the idiot if I'm the one upset. I'm the idiot. Like if I'm like, but you said you would kill it. I'm an idiot. They're not the problem. I'm the problem. Because the only reason I'm upset is because I took all my chips and said, on this group or these people, and I stopped doing all the stuff that actually matters, right? I have no problem supporting people, but I would never stop farming the land. And that means dialing, writing 10 grand a week plus, hiring every day, and talking to all these people. So it's not that deep. You know, when you really think about it, it's just how do you deal with it early when it's not going well, right? That's what I'm starting to like. The longer I do this, the more I realize it's like I'm on the phone, 100 dials, no appointments. Okay, good. Now what? Make sense? What do I do now? Because at the end of the day, calls, you got to bust this thing open. It's like a piggy bank. You got to back to it. You're trying to get the little bit of money out of it and go, bah, and crack that thing open until the money, you can take the money and turn it into something and flip it into something else. So one day we're sitting here and we're laughing at the time where you made $100 and you had no appointments. Because that is 2 weeks away. We'll be laughing in 2 weeks. That's what it is in personal production. In agency building, we might be laughing in 2 quarters. You know what I'm saying? We might be laughing in 4 months. We might be laughing in 12 months. Just depends on what we're doing. But if we just keep doing the activity, it's gonna play itself out. And that's what you're doing right now.
the only thing I can control is the number of appointments I set and the number of people I hire.
That's it.
And we went through this a couple weeks ago. So Mark helped me. A lot of times I just had an Excel spreadsheet and I was trying to do things off memory or how things felt, but I've been mapping out basically what groups are doing what and who's doing the activity, and not only just saying that they're going to do something, but actually following it up with the action. And I quickly noticed that I was spending time with people and having what turned into frustrating conversations with people that just I can't want it more than that.
Correct.
So we talked, and as we said that it's never gonna. I'm always gonna answer the phone, but until you're ready, maybe now's just not your time.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna let them figure it out, and
Yep.
I'm gonna go help the people that are showing that they want the support right now.
Very therapeutic. So
Yeah.
I hope this helps, guys. We'll keep doing this every week. And keep getting on, guys, and keep getting the word out there because we want to see all you grow and do the things you want to do as well. So I appreciate your time. God bless.
Thank you, guys.
You got it, man. Good stuff. Hey, real quick, before anyone leaves, let me just get 2 seconds with all y'all.
Yep.
On this board, see that? Just have a quick seat. I'm gonna do this whether you want to hear it or not, but, and I don't mean like some of you aren't building, or maybe you don't want, I don't know, but here's what we got, guys. The only thing we have is this. The only reason that an office would be dead on a Monday is because we're not promoting it. That's the only reason. There's enough people that want to make money, there's enough people in the New Jersey ecosphere. The only reason why it would be like that, the only reason why 5 people are streaming in is because people are not promoting it. You're telling me 200 agents just in the tri-state agency don't need to hear that? Do we have over 1,000 agents in our ecosphere? I'm not talking about all the stars. I'm talking about the ones that can barely tie their shoes. I'm like, I don't know what the training is. Now, I'm just saying, like, if we do this, everything else takes care of itself. Matter of fact, this is the prelude. Now, you have to, we're gonna assume that you're buying leads. We're gonna assume that you're dialing. We're gonna assume that you're recruiting. If you're building a group. But if you're doing these things, the only thing that is going, the gasoline, I used to think it was the money. The gasoline is the promotion and the recognition. Meaning, we almost got to give people no choice but to come in. Hey, you're gonna be in on Monday, right? What time you getting in? 8 o'clock. When? I don't know. Any reason you can't get there by 8? I'll be there by 8. With all due respect, Bob, you're looking to make money, right? And don't be a jerk, because I can get there so fast. So I'm gonna tone it down for y'all. But you're looking to make like money, right? Yeah, the serious people there at 8. There's a training at 1. You're gonna listen to all these guys dialing. Some guys who can't book appointments, some guys who can book a lot of appointments. They're gonna trade notes. Help me help you, please. Is there any way you could be there by 8? And what we need to start doing is getting this place with 20, 25, 30 people in it. Because if you have a team of 12 here and they all have leads and are dialing, what do you think is going to happen to your team numbers? Does that make sense?
Estimate Shoreline's had in the last 2 months is when
Everyone came to the office and dialed. But then we go to sleep on it, Frank, because we assume they're coming. They know. Dude, they don't know. We literally have to corral them without micromanaging them. Corral them, because they don't understand this. They do not understand this, Erjan. I want to see y'all start making 10 grand a week. I'm sorry, I'm so confused. But, if y'all need leads today, let's do it. I'm serious as a heart attack, because there's no reason to come here and not make money. What you do makes perfect sense to me, bro. I would actually hang myself if I didn't get his result. I'm weirded out by 5,000 in a submit week for grown men in their 30s and early 40s. What are we doing? So, because this gets easier with money, by the way, but this is free. This is free. So this is just corralling the team. The 9:30 a.m. call and the 1 p.m. bullpen is free for y'all. You have no work to do but promote it. And both of these calls, both of these deals on Monday talk about sales, and this one talks about sales and building. So then when you go back to consult your team, they already know information that you didn't have to open your mouth and give them. So we need more leaders in this room who can do what you guys are doing. Then we need more people who can extrapolate information well. right? Which is practice, which is kind of why I'm here. I'm almost like a facilitator, but I'm almost like, I just want to get out the way. I'm dying to get out the way and have y'all just take this thing. Dying. But I realize I have work to do. I'm okay with working. But please, you guys are really smart. Like, to hold people's attention for an hour with all this data and all this information and everything people come up and say, plus your own experience, is not difficult. To promote it is not difficult. We can't get lazy, bro. We absolutely need we need to treat, if this is how we built this entire tri-state. We built it out of the office with insane urgency, like air. We needed air. And it was like, people were pounding the phones in the office. And then we start talking about recruiting. Guess what happens? It's all they want to do. And of course they bring people. And then what happens, they start sending people to different parts of the country, different offices. Because Jersey's not the only place we're recruiting. None of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And they start sending to Orlando's office and Virginia office. And then at the end of the day, your Virginia people call you and they're like, yeah, man, it was pretty cool. And I got 12 appointments for the next 2 days. You're like, oh my God. You're not even doing anything. Because they're trained, Jose Serena trained your people today. Not you. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be trained. You should be like 9:30, dude. That call's stupid good. Whether it's stupid good or not, and it is stupid good. And I don't have anything to do with it. We pick the right people and we drill. All we do is drill down on what they say. That's it, which is all y'all have to do. It's not deep. You could say, I can get you 30 minutes up here a week with all the knowledge you have in your head. Mm-hmm. So if I need 12 minutes from you, I definitely can get it all day long. Then if I get you on a call, I can get 35 minutes from you, no problem. You're giving me enough for me to now say something about it. Make sense? So let's just start treating this like this is your retirement. What if we treated this like this is our retirement, Rajan? All y'all got kids, wives? Like, what are we doing? That's all I'm saying. Like, the heat that's going to come from here is going to come from y'all, in case you didn't notice. My job is just kind of fan the flames and get out the way. I've done this 10,000 times. I'd rather not do it again. But I'm never going to let your families down. Does that make sense? Well, but this is free. I'm not asking. There's no money involved with this. There's effort. We get them to start doing these things by promoting. And then the Facebook chat, that's like high five city and promoting your people. I got one guy who's got a private group. He's like, yeah, we're going to kill it in private. I'm like, oh, this is so hard. Maybe you don't understand how people want national recognition. How they want their stuff posted and reposted, and they want to repost it, and they want to hire through it. Like, this is so simple. We just, because we have our own thought processes, we make it difficult. Does that make sense? And it should not be difficult. You should be writing 12 grand a week, every week, bar none. And you should. And I was talking to another guy today. He's like, 2 years ago, he came into my office. He goes, you know what? I'm thinking about becoming a professional marketer. Killing it in life insurance sales. I think I want to become a professional. I'm like, money messes people up, dude. The very thing that people are looking for is time, decisions, and freedom. This job, this profession, this opportunity gives it to you. But then you start making money like real estate. You're like marketer. You're like cryptocurrency. I'm like, you're on drugs. Pour gas on the motherfucking insurance business. Because all you're looking for is time, decisions, and money. And this does that. When Integrity cuts you a check, start talking about real estate. I'm just so confused. And now he's saying he wants to do it. I'm like, all right, dude. Now he's making more money he's ever made. I'm not going to mention his name, but it's just like, what are we doing? We really overcomplicate this. We just do. And it's not complicated. It's just not complicated. There's no magic pill. If I would have known, if you would have been coming in the office, your situation would have changed months ago. Like, it's just, that makes sense, bro? I mean, like, and I'm rooting for y'all. I'm in. We have a full staff that services. Natasha now lives in South Carolina. She's getting married. She's still marketing. She's remote. Just been working from home, but she's about to start coming back. And Leslie broke a leg, y'all know that. So we're a little shorter than we typically are. But in any way y'all can help to make it easier for Maria, 'cause she's the most cognizant, that'd be great. But dude, it should not be complicated. All in cubicles, this room, that table, it should just be full. And they should all be fired up to come in here at 1 o'clock. And y'all should kick ass in here, whether I'm here or not. And just understand, like, this is your retirement. Why are we messing around with it? It's not your employment or your paycheck. A lot of people are like, I need a paycheck. Dude, this is your paycheck today and your retirement. And we can get it done in 36 months or less. And we're not gonna promote for free. It's on you guys. This location is on y'all. I pay for it, it's on you. You have every resource possible. All these new banners are about to come in with all your logos on it. Like, we're getting rid of some of these logos that don't make sense anymore. It's just like, but we're just looking to pour gas. I'm not gonna lie, we need your help. And I'm asking, and honestly, I shouldn't have to ask, but I'm asking because I know what it will do for everybody here, and then how it spans the country. It doesn't stay in New Jersey, by the way. It's just the heat starts here, and then all of a sudden you're flying to Kansas City, you're flying to Dallas, you're flying to Louisiana because you have groups there because of the heat you started, and it's chilly in here, guys. Just being honest. And I don't get on a national call and go, it's chilly in Jersey. I don't do that. I'm not, because I don't. I just go, we're building this, we're starving. Makes sense? I don't do that. So it's just like, we're starving. We're gonna do it. We're changing the Eagles field. We're making it happen. Everything's positive. But I'm talking to y'all right now because we have 5 people max streaming in, 5 people in house with information that good. I don't know what else to say. So I'm asking, it is free. There's no money involved. I think that some of y'all need better recruiting strategies if you really want to build this. I mean, warm market's amazing, but if you don't couple it with cold. So cold to warm, hire them cold to get to their warm market. And if you have all of this working, you're going to build a big, you're going to be a massive dude at Family First Life, or guy or gal. If you're doing all of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's over. Now, it looks like a lot, but it's not. It's in succession. That's why the office is so powerful, because all of these things happen right here on Mondays and Thursdays. The only thing that happens in between is this, because we're assuming the sales. We already have the appointments. So the only thing that happens in between in your car is this. You're not dialing and buying leads and you are promoting, but you're not dialing and buying leads in your car. You're just recruiting and corralling your troops. So you can literally dovetail this thing every single week and make it easier on yourselves and easier on your teams if you look at it this way. And if you continue to look at it in a different way, you're either gonna have slow growth, no growth, or frustration. No growth, slow growth, or frustration. And this doesn't have to be like that. That's all I'm saying. So anything you can do to help? Does anyone have anything they want to add? Because I know I'm kind of long-winded here. Okay. Anything you guys can do to help? I appreciate it. Seriously. Thank you. How you doing?
Hey.